I basically have until May to move out of this house. So. Hi guys, it's Bria and welcome to my channel. So before I get started, I did want to show everybody my new wooble. So if you didn't know, you didn't see, I did get a wooble kit and it was my first time crocheting, and this is the finished product. I'm super proud of myself because this was actually pretty challenging. And I had never crocheted before. And so all of this is brand new. It did take me a couple days, but once I got the hang of it, it went by a lot faster than I thought it would. But yeah, you can kind of see, you can get little eyes in our mouth and some sprinkles. It's a donut. It's very, very cute. I'm very proud of that. So just wanted to update you guys on that. But yeah, I am going to cook one of my last HelloFresh meals that I have. So I'm hoping that it's still good because I feel really bad. It's been a really crazy couple of weeks and I have not felt like cooking. And so a lot of these meals have been sitting in the fridge for like maybe a week, 2 weeks, I don't know. But all the ones that I got in my last box, all the meals, so I didn't show you guys me cooking these meals, but all of these meals were delicious. Like I thoroughly enjoyed all of them. So this is one, this is another one that I ate this one up. And this one, I don't know, it seems more healthy than anything. And we're gonna see how this is gonna go. I don't know how good this is gonna be really, but they haven't let me down yet. I would have made this one a long time ago, but the problem was they didn't put the carrot in the bag, and so your girl procrastinates. So it took me a while to get to the store and get a carrot, and then on top of that, wherever I freaking got that carrot from, it went bad like the next day. It was gross. So I'm gonna put this together. I'll show it to you afterwards because we got some talking to do and I don't want to spend all day just filming me cooking this meal. So I'm gonna cook it, I'll sit down and eat, and then we'll just talk about what I actually intend to talk about today, which, as you can read from the title, 2024 is about to be really interesting. Like, I don't know, part of me is really excited about this upcoming change, but part of me didn't see it coming, really, not this soon at least. And so I am also a little bit frantic and anxious, just a little bit, because time moves by so quickly these days that it'll be time for me to leave before I know it. Because I don't know what I've written in the title yet, because I haven't decided what it's going to be, but right now it is February 4th, so it's Sunday. This video will be out tomorrow. And I basically have until May to move out of this house. So, yeah. All right, well, I'll be back in a really long time. A long time will pass, but not for you, from me. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I'm not done cooking, but I have to say, I've had good meals. I've only had two of these boxes, and I have not had a bad meal yet. I've had some great and some good, but not a bad one. This one might be bad because there's so much kale in this soup thing that I'm about to make. It's one pot chicken, sausage, and kale soup. I don't know about all this kale. We gonna see. This might need some zhuzhing up. Okay, so it's almost done, and it's looking pretty good. I'm hoping that the sausage is cooked because I struggle with timing when it comes to cooking. Like either I rush things or I like have a hard time timing two parts of the same dish, or like the protein I'm cooking and the veggies that are cooking, like I have a hard time with timing. in general. And so the sausage that's in this kale, carrot, and sausage soup, I ended up overcooking. In one of the meals recently, I overcooked the chicken, and so I was like, I don't want the sausage to be like really like rough and dry, and so I think I just like, it's not as brown as it should be, but I think it's fine. And then we've got some ciabatta bread with the soup. I did a little taste test because, again, it's soup. I don't think it's gonna be like really razzle dazzle, but it tastes very like healthy. It's giving chicken noodle soup. It's giving vegetable soup, which it very much kind of is. This is how it looks right now. So, got the couscous, carrots, and all of that kale. So yeah, as soon as the couscous is done, I think it's good to be pulled off of the stove. I am currently about to burn one half of the ciabatta bread. Yeah, she good. She's done. She's done. But yeah, I'll be back soon, and we'll sit and we'll eat and we'll talk. And this is the end product. I'd say it looks pretty good. Okay, so that was actually pretty quick to make. I think it took about like an hour, like between prep and like actually completing it, which I've enjoyed all of my meals through HelloFresh, and I'm like really sad that I actually had to cancel it, because all the meals were relatively easy to make and were very quick as well. But yeah, I ended up canceling it because I did learn on the 31st of January that I was gonna have to move out of my house. So for those of you who are tuning in and you don't know, the house that I currently live in, I love this house. My housemate is like amazing, but the way that I got into this house was very much a blessing and worked for me, but I did not sign a lease. I just signed some roommate paperwork, and gave her $1,000, and she gave me the keys and the garage clicker. Like, it was very unofficial, informal, and it worked because I struggled finding a place of my own for months, and it was just too expensive in this area. So this was the best situation for me, but that also means that like they can literally just tell me it's time to move out, and I gotta move out. This is my housemate's parents' house, and they retired recently, and they want to move up here and live here. And so I have until May to move out, which it sounds worse than it is, because although I love living here, I'm not that attached to Montana. Though I've had a great time here in general, I was already looking to leave Montana. Preferably, I was looking to wait until the end of the year, but I don't know. Bread. This is actually really good. I think I put like a little too much salt, but it's pretty good. Another one for HelloFresh. But yeah, I was already planning kind of to leave Montana closer to the end of the year. I was applying for remote jobs because honestly, I don't know where I want to live. At this point, with somewhat shorter notice than I was intending on having, I, at this point, think I might just go back to Texas, but move closer to my sister in Dallas, just because I don't have a whole lot of time, and Texas is just so much cheaper of a place to live. Like, part of the issue with living here in the Flathead County area that's really popular with tourists, like a lot of people end up moving to this area, there's so few housing. There's so little housing, very, very few actually affordable places to live. And it just ends up being a problem. Like, trying to find a place to stay here, I just don't want to risk it as far as looking for another roommate, because I was really fortunate with this one, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna be fortunate again. And to be honest, like I was already planning on leaving, and so I just don't feel a desire or a drive to stay here. I mean, I was really discouraged and depressed looking for a place to stay the first time around. You know, I called an actual rental agency, and I had a lady tell me straight up, like I was trying to apply for this really cute little small house. I think it was like $1,400 a month. And the owners were wanting someone with a 700 credit score, which I do not have. And that was the cause of a lot of issues, whereas like I was having to pay twice the deposit, which I get, but in this area, the deposit is equal to your rent. So if your rent is $1,400, your deposit's $1,400, that's $2,800, which is not a small amount of money for any average person just to have. And then on top of that, because my credit wasn't A1, a lot of these apartment places would ask for twice the deposit, which at that point, you're looking at like, what? 28 plus 14. You're looking at over you're looking at like over $4,000 if I did that math right in my head. I don't do mental math in my head. I can't do mental math. But who's got $4,000 just sitting around to move into an apartment? I don't. And so I was like, I'm not going through that again. Like I literally had one lady that I called. She told me I might as well not apply. She told me not to apply because my credit wasn't good enough. And I was like, are you serious? Like I've never experienced that in my life. And then Texas is just so much cheaper. Just like in looking at apartments over this weekend, like I knew it felt weird to me to constantly see all these places here saying, oh, the deposit's equal to the first month's rent. And I'm like, I've never experienced that. Usually it's a couple $100s. And I started looking up apartments in Dallas, and I was like, yeah, I'm not making this up. I'm looking at apartments with deposits $200, $400. And then because there's so many places, they have to compete with one another. And so they always run these like move-in specials and stuff like that. That doesn't happen up here. This is a small area. The demand is high, but the actual, there's actually not a lot of inventory though. So they don't feel that they don't have to compete with each other. They've got a wait list a mile long. And so I'm basically saying to say it. I'm not staying here. It just doesn't feel right. Even if I had a smooth $4,000 to move into an apartment with not a lick of furniture, I don't feel like it's a good investment. Because again, I don't even want to be here. Like, I don't want to be here that bad. Like, I haven't had a bad time or nothing. I've met really great people. I've had some good experiences here, but I'm not that attached to fight for it. You know what I mean? So you know, while I say that, I did, you know, when she told me that I was gonna have to move out, I wasn't like sad about the possibility of like having to leave the area. I was more just like mourning, like I mourned that night for this house, because while I did live in like one or two houses growing up, in my later years, I lived in a lot of apartment complexes, and this was just like a really nice house. And it's enough space, you know, it was really nice having a garage for the winter. Like, I felt really proud to live here. It was a nice area. This is a new build. And I felt really proud. Like, I was like, yeah, you can come over. Like, I didn't feel any kind of way about inviting people over, you know, and I was just like, it just reminded me of just like the fact that me and my family, we don't own anything. And I really want to change that. Like, none of us own a house or anything like that. And you know, the past, what they say about like when you turn 25, like things start to change. The past 5 years or so, I swear, like a lot of my desires have stayed the same, but a lot of them have shifted. And while I'm not done traveling, I still plan to do a lot more traveling in the future. I do want a house. Like, I want to be able to come back to a house, a home where my stuff can exist like in the way that I want it to. It's been years, since 2019, everything that I own has been just like scattered across the country. Like I have stuff here. I have a storage down in Beaumont, Texas. Like all of my stuff has just been in suitcases scattered here and there. And I'm just like, I just want to set up my house the way that I want it, with the furniture that I want. And just to have like all of my stuff from my travels displayed. And like, you know, it's just something that I really desire to have. But obviously like that's gonna take up some time and money to do. But yeah, I was more upset about just losing like this house that I've become comfortable in. It never felt like my house because this isn't the furniture I picked out. These aren't the decorations that I would have put on the wall. But like, again, this was a blessing to even be able to move in here. So right now, I'm just in the applying for stuff phase. I'm leaning heavy. Like right now, I'm about 70-30 for moving to Dallas and getting an apartment in Dallas. I think that I'd really enjoy living in a big city again, or near a big city again, and then near my sister. But I'm also applying for some other more temporary gigs that could supply me with a lot of money. But yeah, that's where I'm at, just in the job hunting phase. I'll let you guys know like what ends up happening with that, but I'm currently just racking my brain because no matter what I choose to do, I'm moving from Montana. And so just like, I hate packing. It's fun if you're packing for a week to go to Paris, but not fun when you're having to pack up all your stuff and like possibly drive halfway across the country. Like the drive to Texas is not gonna be fun. And I'm just gonna have to figure out like what I can take with me and what's gonna have to be like given away or thrown away because my car's like this big. So that's where I'm at right now. Kind of just, I'm not stressed, but just like kind of aware of what needs to happen before I actually leave here. But yeah, that's all. Oh, yo, I put a little bit of red pepper in there because it was very warm, like the soup was very warm and like vegetable soup vibes, but I don't know why. It's hard for me to eat something and not be just like a little bit spicy. I'm like, can I have like a little bit of space? Where's the spice? Okay. I don't have anything else to offer you for this video. But stay tuned for more information and more videos as they will be coming every Monday, as much as I hope that they will. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.